welcome into this edition of Cronkite Sports Live alongside Emmie Keenan. I'm Alex Gaul, and it's the first time for us behind the CSL anchor desk, Emmie, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about.
You're exactly right. I'm so excited to be behind the desk with you for the second show of the season. What's going on?
Well, Emmie, if you've been living under a rock for the past 6 days, you might not know that Arizona State now has a ranked football team. Number 24 in the nation, in fact. And that comes after a thrilling road victory in East Lansing over then number 18 ranked Michigan State. So let's get to the highlights. Herm Edwards was seeking his second victory against the Spartans in as many seasons. Jumping right into things now, the second quarter scoreless ball game and sophomore kicker Christian Zendejas in at kicker for third straight game. He is true from 41 yards out to give ASU a 3-0 lead at halftime. Moving forward to the fourth quarter now, ASU's defense still pitching a shutout, but Elijah Collins has other ideas. The redshirt freshman bouncing outside the tackles to give Sparty its first lead of the ball game, 7-3 MSU. But the Sun Devils would respond later on in the quarter. Their longest drive of the game, 11 plays, 75 yards, longest play of the game right there to Brandon Ayuk, and now finished off by their star running back Eno Benjamin. Stretches his right arm across the goal line to put ASU ahead 10-7 inside the final minute. But the Spartans were not finished yet. They put together a quick 46-yard drive of their own to set up Matt Coughlin for the potential game-tying field goal. Coughlin from 42, and the kick is good. But wait, the refs would take a look at this one and determine that MSU had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players on the field. So we will go again after a 5-yard penalty. Coughlin from 47. This time it's no good. At the buzzer, Arizona State holds on for a 10-7 away victory to remain a perfect 3-0 on the season. And now we send it out to WCSN football reporter Jack Lauderay, who has more with Herm's plan for the coming week against Colorado. Thanks, Gareth. We mentioned ASU kicker Christian Zendejas earlier on in the show. And what a season he has had so far, filling in for the injured Brandon Reese. The redshirt sophomore has not missed through 3 games and is tied with 5 others for the national lead. He was the Pac-12 Special Teams Player of the Week after ASU's win over Sacramento State. The question might be, for Zendejas, what hasn't he done this season? Well, until now, that answer would have been become a scholarship player. But on Tuesday, that changed when Edwards surprised Christian with a scholarship in front of the whole team. Arizona State was recently named the most innovative school in America for the 5th straight year. Now, this is about the time that us sports folks start throwing around the word dynasty. But there's another ASU dynasty that fans should take note of, and that would be the 3-time reigning national champion Arizona State triathlon team. The Sun Devils begin their 2019 season earlier on this month and have finished in first place overall in both of their competitions so far. The most recent one being last weekend when the Devils had the top 4 overall finishers in the West Regional Qualifier in South Dakota. Paced by Kyla Roy's time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 12.4 seconds, ASU turned in a dominant performance, placing 7 competitors in the top 10. Arizona State has one more race before Nationals, which will be hosted in Tempe this November. Now it's time for Sun Devil social media, and Emmie, to break that down for us, we have our own social media expert, Spencer Hardenberg. Spencer, how are you today?
I'm great, guys. I'm really excited to be here, show you guys what's been going on in the Twitter sphere. Got 3 tweets for you guys today. Let's start with a WCSN alum, Zach Pocklib, talking about an ASU alum, James Harden. You guys might have heard James Harden came out with a new shoe and named it Hassayampa, which is the name of his freshman year dorm at ASU, where he says he became a man. Now, I don't know if I want to know what that means, James. I know he didn't come here to play school, so I'm sure he was having fun at Hassy. But what would you guys name your shoe if you had one coming out?
Here at ASU, Taylor Place.
Taylor Place?
The Taylor Place 5s.
What
or 12 for the floor, right?
Hey, 12.
14.
I was floor 12. I was floor 12.
I was on floor 11, too.
You were
so
11?
you can get them all those different ones.
Are you going to Taylor Place, too?
Yeah, for 2 years I was in Taylor Place. So
wow.
Definitely.
Is that the name of your shoe?
Well, I didn't become a man, I would say there, but James Harden apparently did.
I would have to agree with that one. Now, the second tweet, we all know Urban Meyer. You can say what you want about him, but the guy is a collegiate football coaching legend, and he said at some point Arizona State is going to become a top 15 program. Now, I kind of insinuated that at some point, probably soon. Do you guys agree with that? And if they are to do that, How are they going to get there?
Well, Spencer, you're asking two questions. One, is it going to happen? The answer to that question is yes, it's going to happen. The time frame, though, is the thing that we can debate a little bit about. Personally, I think it's going to be about 5 years from now where they consistently get ranked in the top 15, top 20 teams in the nation. But I do think it's going to happen. I think that's the most important part.
Okay.
They're on the upward. They're on a rise. 5 years, Alex, I think that's about right. Herm is here for the long haul.
Herm is here for the long haul. I think he's a great recruiter. Just got to be more consistent. We always know they're in and out of the rankings, so we'll see what happens with them. Now, this last one, let's have a little fun. Sparky versus Sparty. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Oh, wow.
It's a little back and forth. Sparky starts with Let's Bet or Look Out. You know, the push-up champ.
The push-ups.
He's coming into town.
Oh, man.
And he thinks he's got him. But now Sparty comes back. He thinks he's got the upper hand. Imagine using both arms to do a push-up. Couldn't be me.
Man.
And then Sparky, the finishing blow, scoreboard. Imagine not being able to kick a football. And guys, as we know, that's what lost Michigan State was game, was the inability to kick 47 and under yard field goals. So, besides a push-up competition, I'm talking a duel. Who wins, or in a real fight?
Are those muscles real? Let's be honest. Are they
I think they are.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
for the sake of it, yes, absolutely.
For the sake of it, I'm gonna go with Sparty. Let's you go.
Well, see, I think Sparty definitely has the edge over the bronze, but have you ever heard the phrase "never bring a knife to a gunfight"? Because I think in this case, it's never bring a pitchfork to.
Pitchfork,
yeah,
there you
exactly.
go.
So Sparky's got the pitchfork. He's got the mystical powers, as you know as well. So I think he would win, not the brawn of Sparty.
I'm taking Sparky too. That puts Sparky at 2-0 this week versus Michigan State.
And Spencer, you were 3-0 with those tweets. Fantastic job as always, and thank you so much for being here. And now staying with men's hockey, we bring in our very own Michael Gutnick to break down the 2019 squad as they prepare for the upcoming season. Michael, it's great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So let's jump right into it. There's lots of things changing in this program, Michael, and obviously that starts with the departure of goaltender Joey Daccord to the NHL. There's a lot of newcomers in to fill that void. What have you seen from this new crop of goaltenders?
That's right, Alex. There's a trio of netminders competing for the starting job. At the forefront, it's Max Prodzik, who's a graduate transfer from Boston University. And if you take a look at his numbers, it's a small sample size, but good consistency there. And he also got the bulk of the work in the ASU's trainership over the summer. And Justin Robbins and Evan DeBrouwer round out the goalie competition. They've been working hard at practice in order to compete for that opening job 2 weeks away from now.
Yeah, and Michael, there's a lot of turnover on this team outside of the goalie situation as well. Who are some freshmen to look out for, both on the blue line and up front as well?
Well, the highlight for this year's recruiting class is Logan Genuine. I mean, he put up ridiculous record-breaking numbers. 60 goals, 104 points in the North American Hockey League. This guy's going to bring immediate firepower to this already loaded Sun Devil offense. And then on the blue line, you got Jacob Semick and Jack Judson. These are two guys that are round out ASU's top four pairing on the blue line. I'm telling you right now, this is going to help not just with the defense, but also offensive production there.
Yeah, and Michael, one thing that really helped this program make their first NCAA tournament of their young career really last year was their strong strength of schedule. Going into the new season, though, what games should fans be circling on their calendars already?
Well, the most important game of the season is going to be against Quinnipiac. And if you recall from last season, they fell to them in their first ever tournament appearance. And if you take a look at their first few games in the schedule, Minnesota State on the road and Air Force on the road, those are two tough games. But then further down the road, you got Denver, Michigan State, Harvard. These are all perennial powerhouses that ASU is going to have to tackle if hopes for them to hopefully make the tournament for a second straight season.
And Michael, the Sun Devil Hockey starts their season at home early next month, and for full coverage of the preseason build-up, stay locked with WCSN and Michael's content at CronkiteSports.com.
Now onto my favorite segment, The Way It Is. Alex and I are going to ask each other questions. Whoever wins gets a monologue. Starting off, staying with ASU women's volleyball, the team is playing their rival, like I said, in less than a week. How many sets, Alex, do you think they will go with the 8-2 team, Arizona?
Yeah, well, Arizona is definitely one of the perennial powers here in the Pac-12 and ASU women's volleyball. They're definitely an inconsistent team. I think they go 4 sets with Arizona. They maybe take the second set.
Now, they're playing Kansas right now. U of A beat Kansas in 3. I think ASU can hold it out. It's going to go in 5. Ultimately, I think UA is going to win.
Yeah, so Emmie, ASU women's soccer broke their losing streak after beating LSU on Sunday. And tonight they take on CSUN to close out the non-conference play. How do you think they'll fare against Utah in their first game of Pac-12 play?
Well, Alex, ASU has more wins under their belt. With a player like Nicole Douglas, 9 goals last season, 7 already this season. coming off of a win. I think they're going to beat them.
Yeah, Nicole Douglas has been fantastic up front. They also have Marlene Schimmer up front as well, Alexia Delgado, Eva Van Dersen in midfield. And they're all from different countries as well. It's just such a talented group up front, this front six from Grant Winkworth's side. I think they could definitely beat Utah and make some noise in the Pac-12 this season.
All right, last question. ASU just beat Michigan State in East Lansing, and now they are going to play Colorado, who just lost to Air Force in overtime. What are you expecting the outcome to be for the first game of conference play for the Sun Devils and Tempe?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game for the Sun Devils. I mean, it's definitely something that they struggled with last year against this Colorado Buffaloes team. They lost in Colorado last year, but I think this year it's going to be a lot different. They have a strong win coming off that Michigan State win. I think they get it done on Saturday.
I agree with you, Alex. I think people sleep on ASU too much. Herm is on a roll right now. Started 28 freshmen last game. Freshman quarterback, 3 wins tomorrow. I think he's going to get his 4th.
All right, now, I mean, the only thing
Who's
that's
gonna win?
up left
Who's
is to
gonna
figure
win?
out who gets the reader. There we go. First show, and I get the first reader of the day. So when I say the word soccer, what name comes to mind? Maybe Ronaldo or Messi or Lewandowski, Morgan, Rapinoe. Too many to count, really. But there's really some other names you should be taking notice of, some of them right here in Arizona. And that's because English gaffer Graham Winkworth has brought European-style football to the desert, and his side has a real chance to do some damage in the Pac-12 this season. With returners up front, solid newcomers in the back, and a revitalized European possession-based play style, the Sun Devils are primed to make the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2014. For starters, the Sun Devils an incredibly skilled front six. Nicole Douglas and Marlene Schimmer are both talented finishers from anywhere up front, and that's in the front of Graham Winkworth's 4-4-2 formation. And they're supported by technically gifted midfielders like Alexia Delgado and Eva Van Dersen. Although all individually talented in their own rights, they've thrived as a group in a possession play style where short passes and slow build-up play are key to breaking down a defense. Add an overlapping play from the fullbacks as well as penetrating runs from ASU's freshman center back duo, and the Sun Devils have put together a lethal offensive system. They have netted 25 goals in their first 8 non-conference games, more than doubling their non-conference total from last season. With their last non-conference game later on tonight against CSUN, it's time for fans to jump on the ship now before it's too late. And that's the way it is.
Thank you again for up to top plays. We have number 3 right here. It is ASU Michigan State. Daniels back, throws it long. Connects with Brandon Ayuk at the 25. Spartan 25, the longest play for ASU easily. Now,
40-yard completion, Emmie, and that definitely set up this next play right here. Not technically the next play, but later on in the same drive. 4th and 13, ASU has to get a first down here to have a chance at winning it. And there goes freshman quarterback Jaden Daniels inside the 15 for the first down, and that would set up our number 1 play.
Number 1, same game, less than a minute left to play. Eno Benjamin reaches into the end zone. That is going to seal the victory for ASU in this game. Watch it again right there. So close, and he got the win for them. Wow, what a play, Alex. That's wild that they got the game like that.
A fantastic job by ASU last week and ASU football, and a fantastic job by us for our first show, I would say.
Yes.
And I would say thank you again for tuning into this edition of Cronkite Sports Live. We'll be in the same place, same time next week, different anchors, but we will see you next time.